From Op2mize, the president CEO, Geoffrey Kasselman, is here. Hey, Geoffrey. Welcome to Conference Live.
Thank you.
As my guest, I hereby gift you with a Mr. Happy Face. How are you?
How do I look?
You look wonderful.
Yeah, good.
You look
Thank
like
you.
it makes you smile. How's the conference been for you this?
It's been great.
Yeah.
I've only missed one Realcomm ever.
Really?
Yeah.
And why?
I believe in subject matter expertise. I believe in thought leadership.
Yeah.
But I have to go somewhere to get that.
Yeah.
On many occasions, and Realcomm's been a solid go-to place for me for that.
Sure.
For a long time.
Who has blown your mind a little bit this conference? Who have been some of the people that you've heard speak or watched and really resonated with?
First of all, everybody. Okay,
wow.
For the most part, but I think one of the hidden treasures of a conference like this, and a lot of people call it a trade show, but it's not. It's a conference,
yes.
Right? It's about the content. It's the sidebar conversations that you have where you can experiment with whether or not you've really connected the dots as well as you think you might have.
Yes.
Or someone else can help you connect the dots if you're struggling to do it. And you don't always get that by visiting the booths or attending the sessions or the presentations.
Sure.
It's last night when I had dinner with the CIO from Highwoods and the CIO from Centerpoint and some of their friends, and we all started to talk. We talked shop, we had fun, but it was that sort of conversation where I was blown away with, those guys are so smart, they know so much, they're connecting dots so much faster than everybody else, certainly faster than me. That's what blows me away when I come to a
What,
Realcomm.
if you wouldn't mind sharing, what was one of the dot connecting insights that you've come away with this time?
The upward mobility or lack of upward mobility of the CIO. Where does the CIO go once he or she has made his or her mark on the organization?
Mm-hmm.
And do they train somebody to replace them so that they are more upwardly mobile and
right.
the organization can keep right on going? Or is that a risk, right? Do you train somebody who can do the job as well or maybe even better than you, who's younger, smarter, more digitally entitled, will work for less money? Okay? It's kind of, okay, that made some sense to me.
Right.
But on the other hand, I think the companies that start to pull away from the pack are those that embrace the CIO mentality in the ultimate spots of president and CEO and board seats and investment committee decisions. So I do think there needs to be more upward mobility of that CIO if a company's really going to pull away from the pack. So that was sort of a takeaway where I was going, yeah.
Do you see that as a trend, or are we seeing that?
I'm rooting for it as a trend.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily seeing it yet. I'm struggling maybe to give you an example of it.
Sure.
I think it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happening on spot instances, in spot instances, but I think those companies that embrace that, and I've heard several of your other interviewees talk about the connectedness or the need for connectedness between the C-suite and everybody else. You need strong leadership, but you need everybody to buy into the vision.
Yeah.
It's not just a CIO, right? It's not just a tech guru who can move the entire ship. And
right.
so those organizations that value that and then empower that CIO to maybe be more upwardly mobile ends up being that company that does pull away from their pack, I think.
Well, I hope you're right, because I mean, we're talking at the conference about big data, and if it's all about the information and analyzing and acting on the information, then your information officer has got to be a key figure in your company.
No
so what can you tell us about Op2mize? What should we be talking about today?
Well, Op2mize is somewhat a growth or an outgrowth of the time that I've been spending at Realcomm all these years. We were really looking at a way to harness technology for commercial real estate services. It's a broad intersection, real estate and technology. So how do you harness technology and still deliver a value-add commercial real estate service? We started as a company that bundled that commercial real estate service with virtual modeling, process modeling for our customers, which were manufacturing and industrial in nature. And we were able to use software to simulate their environment and then change different variables, sometimes with their input, sometimes with our input, and then use math to measure change and show them what their optimal operating environment would be for a period of time.
Yeah.
The length of a lease, how long you might own a building. Unfortunately, my co-founding partner of Op2mize did such a good job for Sears as a client that they hired him, and he's now modeling all Sears buildings as a Sears employee.
Wow.
That forced us to revisit our business plan, and at the same time, the world became somewhat enamored of green, environmental sensitivity, energy efficiency, because they're not necessarily the same thing. And I was trying to talk to people about smart buildings and some of the things that I was learning here at Realcomm, and people would say, do you mean green buildings? And I would say, no, smart buildings, but there wasn't really a market. The consumer wasn't ready for smart buildings on a mainstream consultative or transactional basis at that moment, but they were asking very clearly for something similar but different, and we moved quickly into that green building arena, and then figured out very quickly that smart buildings, or the ability to manage, maintain, control, those are building automation items or tech items that make the energy efficiency better or more sustainable over a longer period of time. And so the bundle very quickly became real estate service, plus energy services, plus tech services. And we offer that bundle today in any combination or any bundle, a la carte too.
Yeah.
But the market's come to us now somewhat, and we're enjoying fairly rapid growth and fairly decent success right now.
That's fantastic. And give me one success story.
Well, gosh, there's been a bunch lately. We won a big account from a major bank because of our ability to bring together that operational efficiency and cost reduction together with the real estate service, where the other folks that pitched it strictly focused on the real estate service. So that's a very recent example. We've done some pretty aggressive lighting retrofit and incentives and rebates for some folks who didn't have any idea that there was a savings to be had. We just bought a very small company called Hope Energy, and we immediately rebranded it and relaunched it as Op2mize Energy. And Op2mize Energy purely focuses on energy procurement buying strategies.
Huh.
So they're not about reducing your consumption, they're about reducing how much you pay for it and helping you buy it more strategically. That works in a deregulated environment like Illinois, where we're based, and other deregulated markets.
Sure.
But in 30 days of being together with Op2mize Energy, we've had runaway success with a manufacturing company in the south suburbs, some of my clients who are office and industrial in nature. We took, or are in the process of working with a string of currency exchanges. 300 locations. I'm not personally working on it, so I may not have my facts nailed, which is a call to my guys who are working on it, but several hundred locations with several hundred ComEd accounts. We've aggregated that together and gone to the market as if it's a single unified account, and as a result of that aggregation, the marketplace was much more excited about bidding for that kilowatt hour consumption.
Sure.
And is more aggressive, therefore, in pricing it.
Right.
And the operator of those several hundred locations is seeing a drastic reduction.
Very exciting.
And of course that leads to real estate transaction work, and that's what we want. We want one to feed the other.
That's just great. I mean, it really seems like a full service consultancy, real estate service, and on and on and on. That's fantastic. And how long has it been going on, Op2mize?
Well, Op2mize started in 2004. We recapitalized in 2012, early in 2012, by bringing in a few new partners. So I don't know if I'm allowed to shout out to my partners, but Aaron and Paul, it's great to have you guys as partners. Thank you for your confidence in the business plan and in what we're doing at Op2mize. That really allowed us to share some of the management responsibilities, share some of the workload responsibilities, and attract new people. And so that was really as much a catalyst for our growth as the market coming out of recovery and people having a much heightened, much more informed interest in the kinds of things that we were doing, where a few years ago people were in survival mode, didn't have a budget for it, didn't quite get it, and it was a little bit harder to grow off of that. So that's really been the driver for us.
Fantastic. If people want to begin to explore what Op2mize can do for them, where do they find you? Where's the best place to read about you guys and interact with you?
Op2mize.com.
Okay.
Op2mize with a 2.
Yep.
We have a brand new website being launched hopefully in a week or two.
Oh,
We're
cool.
about 80 or 90% there.
So go now and then later see how much cooler it is.
Exactly right, because we're a firm that offers difference in the market, right?
Sure.
We try to take a different approach. We hope that we're generating different results. We want to give people an alternative perspective on how things can get done and still add value or create value. For us, that starts when people visit our website to validate us, right?
Sure.
So the first thing they're going to see with the new website is, wow, that's a different firm that's thinking and acting differently. I hope we haven't swung too far. We'll find out when we get some feedback from folks, but it's really going to be quite different than what's up there now, but I invite people to visit the current, the new, whichever.
Check out the difference.
Absolutely.
Jeff, thank you so much for coming,
and
good luck with Op2mize, and thank you for sharing some of your deeper insights with us here at Realcomm 2013.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.